Welcome to episode 90 of the Friday podcast. As you can see or hear, I'm outside. I have COVID. It's not as bad as others may have gotten it, obviously. So Monday, I'm recording on Thursday. Hopefully I get this up by tomorrow, but we'll see what's up. It probably won't be out in the morning, but anyway. What's up, Leia? So, got COVID, just a headache, my joints were hurting, you know what I'm talking about, so, but, rest, sun, water, they've been my best friends. I can't believe we made it to 90. I just want to give a big shout out to every subscriber, commenter, share, you know what I'm saying, anybody who's shown any kind of any kind of love to the Friday podcast, and to the Odd Pod. Alright, I don't know what I'm gonna, so, you know, I got my Badass Women in Herstory. I got a couple animals. I got a movie review. Man, I wonder if I'm gonna do it all out here. I guess so. I don't know, cause they're inside. I slept all day. I should have did it earlier. Man. So hopefully, oh my goodness, and then with the wind, oh my goodness, that would be horrible. If the wind just blew down the camera stands. I gotta put something right there to just hold it up. Hold it up. It's gonna be my water. But first I gotta drink some. Speaking of purple rain, it was supposed to rain today, but I don't think it did. Alright, let's see. That should hold that down. Alright, y'all. So, random question is, let's see, I don't like these. I don't like that. I don't like that. Alright, let's go back to number 646. Shout out to this book. Could you ever be a mortician if it paid really well and you needed a job? Creepy question to ask out here in the nighttime. But, I mean, the way that they put the question, it pays well, I need a job, why wouldn't I do it? Although it would be fucking gross. And I don't even know what a mortician does. But if I needed a job and it pays well, I don't see why I wouldn't do it unless maybe there's another job that pays well. Describe war, in your opinion, in just a few words. What the fuck? Well, war, spelled backwards, is raw. And war, you know, I actually kind of wrote about this a little bit on my Dune review, which I'm going to do today. War is it feels necessary, but obviously it's unnecessary. But war is an evil concoction used to gain power. That's mainly it, right? Gain power. Wealth equals power. That's war. War is a machine that many people use to gain power. How good is your willpower? Typically, what do you use it for? Willpower. It's all right. I feel like it's better than some, worse than others. But I mean, isn't that usually how it goes down? And what do I use it for? You know, certain stressful things on a day-to-day basis. Let me take a sip. I wonder how it looks. You know, so just certain things, you know. Willpower. You gotta use it for work. You have to use your willpower for work to stay diplomatic and to stay polite. And yeah. What is the most despicable thing about politics? Look, I don't know who said that. I think it was George Carlin is what I heard it from, but I don't know if he's the first one to say it. But poly means many, and then ticks, T-I-C-S, are blood-sucking insects. And speaking of blood-sucking insects, I'm about to light one of these up. Oh, I do got one lit up. Put it in here. It's incense to keep mosquitoes away. Alright. So what's the most despicable thing about politics? It's used to cover up some of the worst crime in human history. How many pairs of shoes do you own? Alright, check it. I got one pair of white shoes, one pair of black shoes, got some white and blue shoes, I got some boots, sandals. So I think that's it. Have you ever walked out of a cinema before the film was done? Yeah, and I feel like I talked about this. I think this was in this book. But whenever I was younger, I went to go see Alexander, I think. The one with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, I think. And this was a while back. But I didn't pay for the movie. I wasn't driving. I was just a young kid with my uncle, my cousins. But there was this part that I guess it started being kind of gay. There was like homoerotic sex about to go down. So they said, let's get out of here. And I was like, all right, guys, whatever y'all want. You know, this is not, I'm okay with it. I'm okay the way. Other than that, I don't think so. What makes you vulnerable? When people are super honest with me and tell me my flaws or something I did wrong, what's good, but I think vulnerability is a good thing. I actually wrote that down as a topic for the iPod because I think it's a necessity, being vulnerable. But what makes me vulnerable is my humility, I guess. Love, honesty. A secret you've been wanting to share. Well, there you go, COVID. I've been wanting to tell everybody online, but I'm not really on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. Besides, I mean, I have accounts. I deleted the apps off my phone. Still don't have them on there. Every once in a while on my browser, I'll check Facebook or Instagram. But yeah, I think it's been good for me to be off of those, at least on my phone for the time being. So the thing I've been wanting to share is, yeah, I finally, not that I finally got COVID, but 2 years, and for the first time, your boy has the fit. Now, luckily, thankfully, thank God that I didn't lose my sense of taste or smell, because that would suck. And of course, unfortunately, 2 years ago when this was all new, that would have been the scarier time to get it. Thankfully now we have a little more knowledge on the subject. What is something you've gotten a second opinion on? Oh, I mean, I don't mind getting a second opinion on most things if I'm doubting myself, but things I think when it comes to parenting or how to tackle a conversation that I'm gonna have with somebody, like a loved one, a mom, a sister, a son, a dad. And I'll ask a friend or somebody like, hey, how would you go about this? Or what would you do? Or what do you think about this? And I'll weigh out the options. Usually more than a second opinion. I'll try to get a third opinion. Luckily, I have people in my life that I can trust that their opinions are heartfelt and legitimate. Excuse me. If you could collaborate on a rap with one rapper, who would it be? Oh man. The first one that comes to mind is obviously Eminem. I just feel like I could do a track with him and it would hold bar. But that's very, very conceited. But yeah, if I had to pick one, it would be Eminem. After that, it would be Nas or Ludacris, which is a big difference. Yeah. Who else? SPM's locked up. DMX is passed. I always wanted to do one with Bone Thugs. That would be amazing. Jada Kiss. Even to do a Dre track, get a Dre beat would be crazy, but I don't know if people are selling my soul for it. What is the cleverest way you ever asked for someone's phone number? Alright, so this is what I used to do when I was in high school. Like, for instance, there's one time I was at the Super Target by Town East Mall, which I don't even know. It is still there. But it wasn't a Super Target back then. I think it was just Target. And before the Super. And there was this girl that I thought was cute. And I was like, how do I talk to her? And I was like, hey, do you know Jose Cabrera? And I just made up the name. And then she'd be like, no. I was like, oh, so you look like somebody that goes to his school and he hangs out with. And she'd be like, oh, no. And I was like, oh, well, anyway, how are you doing? And they'd be like, I'm good, da, da, da. And so one time that worked and I got enough. I got a phone number and that led to a good friendship, actually. And I hope she's doing well. She's married now and all that stuff. Could have been me, guys, but I think everything happens for a reason. Okay. What is your favorite smell or scent? Oh, that CBD, you know what I mean? That Purple Rain. Also, oh man, that's the AC. What else? What is a good smell? Weird sound, sorry. Favorite popcorn topping? Butter. What are you really intense with? Podcasting. What do you make more complicated than it has to be? Everything. Okay, taking a break. We'll be right back with some more subjects. Oh shit. Sorry. All right. So, continuing on. Coincidentally, I'm out where I saw the rooster that I'm about to talk about. On my neighbor's house, they have a shed back there, a couple sheds, and they have a rooster, and once or twice, I've seen the rooster get on the roof, a lot of the cartoons, and it's quite a sight to see. Also, my dad, he lives around the way, has a rooster that is staying with his neighbor. He has chickens, and they have a chicken, and they gotta be kind of separate, I guess. Because they just want eggs, they don't want chicks. Anyway, surprisingly, I've never done this animal. So, the rooster is a common motif. Okay, this is shout out to richardalois.com. The rooster is a common motif in Western culture. West, y'all. It can be found on the flags of several European countries, such as France and Italy. Shit, I didn't even know that. While it also features prominently on Chinese porcelain. The rooster's crow heralds the dawn. It symbolizes vigilance, courage, and honesty. Its call was thought to scare away evil spirits and bring good luck. Worldbirds.com says that the symbolism in the Celtic world, the rooster is an emblem of fertility. So many animals are symbolisms of fertility, I tend to find. Associated with a number of deities. The French Gallic rooster is an age-old symbol of Gaul, which is modern-day France. The Romans associated Gaul with roosters because the Latin name for this bird is Gallus. WhatIsMySpiritAnimal.com says the Native Americans designate rooster as a symbol of the sun, resurrection, protection, fertility, particularly for men. Rooster as a Celtic animal symbol, it's an odd divergence from global symbolism. The Celts saw the rooster as a messenger to the underworld. Interesting. As he traveled, his call called forth souls of the brave who died in battle. Valhalla! MillersGuild.com says that in most cultures, the rooster is generally a good omen, symbolizing positive traits such as self-confidence, ambition, strength, vigilance, honesty, sexual prowess, and punctuality. Whether the rooster appears to you in real life, in a dream, or in the form of an intimate art form or symbol, it comes to convey some important life-changing lessons. Library.acropolis.org says it is also an emblem of Christ. Like the eagle and the lamb, symbol of light and resurrection. In the book of Job, the rooster is the symbol of God, God-given intelligence, while the ibis is the symbol of wisdom. The Talmud makes the rooster a master of courtesy because it heralds his Lord the sun with its crowing. Yourtango.com says that the rooster are territorial animals. Yes, cockfights. You probably heard. Roosters symbolize observance, masculinity, bravery, honesty. I mean, talk about masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Purple Rain. Honesty, prudence, pride, strength, positivity, enthusiasm, and, of course, sexuality. Roosters are a sign of good luck. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's move into anxiety news with Christopher Chaos. Let's see. This is from jsonline.com. Says, afraid I'll get pregnant from my husband. So sexual anxiety soars post-Roe, experts say. In the wake of Roe versus Wade's overturning, sex therapists say anxiety over sex has soared. People tell USA Today this anxiety has caused them to reconsider sex, dating, and relationships. Is this too exciting? No. Sex therapists encourage those with sexual anxiety to communicate about safe sex practices. I won't get nervous because Elena, okay, I'm not even gonna, I didn't know how to go about this. I was gonna go about it one way, and I figured, no. Which way to go about it? All I can say about this is, as if anxiety wasn't already at a hyperbolic level for me when it comes to sexual activity because of STDs, because faultiness condoms, because of the lack of financial stability at said moment to raise another child. I get it. I get the extra anxiety. But I mean, it's gonna make it that more special. If you're willing to risk it all, that's true. That's true fucking love, man. Oh man, cause at that point it's like, okay, no condom. I mean, cause even but condom, birth control, all that shit, there's no 100%. Not even pull-out game is 100%. Yo, I was watching what was that movie? Dirty Work. R.I.P. Norm Macdonald's, and I was showing my cousin, and there's this hilarious scene where the dad is like, where Norm finds out that his dad, he has the same dad as Artie Lang in the movie, and he's like, just different moms. And he's like, I'm sorry, this old man to Norm, they didn't have fancy birth control back in the day like they do now, like pulling out. It's scary. It's scary because then it also talks about some people, you could pass away. So it's a tough situation, and really I can't have an opinion on it because I'm a male. I'm a straight cis male. Not only that, but I look like a white straight cis male. Hispanic, so give me some straight cred, guys. Just kidding. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Oh, it says, and yeah, you know what? This might be a way that people are, because look, sometimes people get pregnant and they're like, okay, let's get the abortion and stuff, but then something happens and you don't, and then the kid happens. Not saying anybody personally, but the fact that more people are gonna be afraid to even have intercourse, it's gonna bring the population down. I feel like the population is coming down for different reasons. And speaking of population, did y'all see the Georgia Guidestones got destroyed? That's fucking crazy. And if you know anything about conspiracy theories, those have been around since like 2012, 2011. And it's like these 10 commandments of how to keep the world at a new world order. And it talked about keeping the population under 20 million. It talks about one world government, one world religion, and one money. And it's just fucking crazy. Somebody destroyed it. And I'm not saying I endorse destroying monuments. Like if I'm not going to go for one way, I can't go back another way. But if you're going to let people destroy some, might as well let them destroy the others. Am I right? Am I right? I don't know. Ooh, anxiety news is giving me anxiety today. Alright, we're back. This week, angel number 838. Angelnumber.org says that 838 symbolizes new creative or business projects and endeavors which are deemed to be a success. Sweet. Communication, travel, progress, success, adventure, optimism, enthusiasm, happiness, increase, growth, giving, receiving, karma, expansion, personal freedom, authority, manifesting abundance, creating your reality, and moving forward. I'm not gonna do that for all of them. SarahScoop.com says that the meaning of the angel number 838 is a sign of encouragement and support from your guardian angels. They are letting you know that they are with you and that you can succeed in whatever you are working on. You have their back and support. No, you have their backing and support. So do not be afraid to take risks and aim high. The number 838 also represents manifestation, and abundance. Spiritualmantra.org says that 838 indicates that now is a fortunate moment for you to project your next creative activity. Your angels in the highest realm are at your side, encircling you and helping you rapidly actualize your genuine goals. And I felt that one. It's time for you to live a positive life and think only good ideas. Sunsigns.org. Ooh, there's the breeze. Hope it doesn't knock over the phone. 838 has a deep meaning. 8 is a symbol of giving and receiving. It is the sign of the law of the universe. Ooh, sorry. 3 is a symbol of support. It means fighting other people's worlds. What does that mean? 8 has been repeated twice as number 88 to mean that you are slacking in the giving department. I am slacking in the giving department. SpiritDefinition.com says that biblically, 838 signifies the hidden message of God. The moment this number shows up in your life, you are asked to become more spiritual and connect with the divine energy. 838 as a biblical sign also lets you know it is time for you to end all thoughts, feelings, and actions that are not serving your higher good. TheSecretOfTheTarot.com. When the number 838 keeps reoccurring in your life, the angels want you to know that you have their undivided attention. This number is an assurance of love, support, and guidance from the divine realm. The angels want you to light the world with your brilliance. Go ahead and heed this advice. There's much in store for you by obeying. Mindfulnessandjustice.org says that 838 is a message of success, self-confidence, service to humanity, karma, and generosity. Similarly, it's a symbol of abundance in all forms, spiritually, financially, and emotionally. Thank the Creator. What's important is that you are truly prepared to receive such abundance. Okay. I'm going to take another break. We'll come back with a few more beautiful segments for you beautiful people. And yes, action. All right, continue it on. We're running out of animals, so I'm going back to the memory bank. And recently at my job, I went on a field trip with students, obviously, and well, not obviously. It was a field trip. I'm a teacher assistant, in case y'all didn't know. But we went to this environmental center. And there was this turkey who was like a teacher there. Like, she let the kids pet her. You know, most of the kids pet her on the feathers. And if you look at a turkey head, man, it looks like acne, like bumpy and weird. Yo, I pet that turkey on her ugly ass fucking head, and it was weird, but I think she appreciated it, and she just seemed so intelligent, and she was like helping to keep the kids in line, and it was amazing, yo. I'm getting chills thinking about it. Turkeys, and I eat a lot of turkey. Ask-angels.com says that as a spirit animal and ally, turkey reminds us the power of honoring nature and being in deep communion and connection with the earth. The turkey reminds us to honor ourselves, honor the earth, and to care for and nourish both. When we do, so many blessings of abundance, community, authentic connection, harmony, and fulfillment can align as a result. MillersGuild.com says that so turkeys are often seen as a symbol of being grounded. In other words, they can reflect your self-knowledge and understanding of your place in the world. It also can represent fertility and femininity. The turkey is considered to connect to feminine energies and linked to its association with abundance. It can also carry messages about fertility. Worldbirds.com. Turkeys are symbolic of prosperity and plenty. Let's see, as I mentioned above, indulging in a turkey dinner to celebrate the success of the harvest is a tradition in American culture that dates back to the first Thanksgiving. Because of its role in Thanksgiving, the turkey is also associated with generosity, gratitude, family, and friendship. So that's kind of a new symbolic thing. But you see how these things are added to the symbology. Spirit-animals.com says that the turkey symbolism is a good omen. Thus, it indicates that great gifts are on their way to you. However, you must also understand that this bird is always a symbol of sacrifice for renewal. In other words, this spirit animal reminds you that you have to let go of something for new things to arrive. Wow. Whatismyspiritanimal.com says that nourishing our mind, body, and spirit, turkey symbolizes harvest and abundance. And so, turkey represents autumn, fall, the season of the fire elements. The fire element adds a whole new dimension to turkey symbolism and meaning. Sounds delicious. Fire is the element of passion, creativity, and the power of destruction / transformation. TrustedPsychicMediums.com says that the turkey symbolism brings the message of unlocking the richness of your life so that you can appreciate everything. It asks you to focus less on wanting material things because they will not give you lasting happiness. The meaning of the turkey also speaks about feminine energies that are at work in your life. Very interesting. Betty. Interesting. Okay. So, movie review / reaction. Dune. I wrote a whole thing, but I don't feel like going inside and go get it, and I just want to kind of wrap this up. So, enough breaks. I watched Dune recently, and living in North Texas, in the middle of the summer, perfect time to watch it. I found it very interesting. I found very, let's see, I was left with a lot of questions. And because of that, and because of a friend who, shout out to Vino, who started listening to the audiobook, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. So I'm like more than halfway through with the first book. And it's definitely better than the movie. But the movie is good. The movie is very, very, very good. And I think reading the book makes the movie better. Because then you're like, oh, you know what they're thinking and shit. But even without that, it sets up good lore. It doesn't, you're not oversaturated with too much information. These guys. You're left with questions, but you're given some action, you're given some answers, you're given more questions. There's this whole new, they got the different helicopters, which is cool. They got the voice power, and come to find out, George Lucas got all his ideas for the first Star Wars movie from Dune. Including Tatooine being a desert place, and they had a farm for moisture, and the voice is basically the Force. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize this. Thanks to New Rock Stars, I saw this video, and they were explaining certain things, which is incredible because then you see like, whoa, like, I don't know. It's just like when you hear the original song that a hip hop song sampled. It's like, okay, this is the basis of it. But it's even deeper than that because it's a whole there's 6 books. And I'm probably gonna listen to all of them if I can. But yeah, the actors are great. I don't know all the actors, but the ones that come to mind are Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, and the main character's cool. The kid plays it well, you know. Like figuring it out, you know, this whole thing. Like, am I the Messiah? Am I not? Is it fake? Is it real? You know, the technology. It's just. Now I'm thinking about the scene where the little thing comes out of the wall, and it's just George Lucas got that too, and put that in episode 2 or 3, probably episode 2, I think. But it's very interesting. I really like it, and the book makes it that much better. As a movie, David Bautista. Yeah. As a movie, because I was left with so many questions, and I was confused about certain things. I give the movie a 4. The book I give a 5. But yeah, Dune. Check it out soon. Or whenever the fuck. Okay. Badass Woman in History. Audrey Lord. L-O-R-D-E. Like the singer. She was born February 18th, 1934 in Aquarius, like your boy. Well, we got the purple amethyst stone as our birthstone. She passed November 17th, 1992. She was an American writer, feminist, radical feminist, womanist, librarian, and civil rights activist. She was a self-described black lesbian mother warrior poet who dedicated both her life and her creative talent to confronting and addressing injustices of racism, sexism, classism, and homophobia. As a poet, she is best known for technical mastery and emotional expression, as well as her poems that express anger and outrage at civil and social injustices she observed throughout her life. As a spoken word artist, her delivery has been called powerful, melodic, and intense by the Poetry Foundation. Her poems and prose largely deal with issues related to civil rights, feminism, lesbianism, illness, and disability, and the exploration of black female identity. Now, oftentimes I find the early life the most interesting part, because like, that's what forms you, right? Those first 12, 13, 14 years, that's, you fucking fence. I'm about to go beat that fence's ass. And then I come back and I'm all fucked up, like, oh, the fence got me, you guys. The fence fucking got me. Alright, so Lord was born in New York City to Caribbean immigrants. Her father, Frederick Byron Lord, hailed from Barbados, and her mother, Linda Gertrude, was Grenadian, and had been born in the island of Carriacou. Lord's mother was of mixed ancestry, but could pass for Spanish, which was a source of pride for her family. Lord's father was darker than the Belmar family liked, and they only allowed the couple to marry because of Byron Lord's charm, ambition, and persistence. The family settled in Harlem, nearsighted to the point of being legally blind, and the youngest of 3 daughters. Her 2 older sisters were named Phyllis and Helen. Lord grew up hearing her mother's stories about the West Indies. At the age of 4, she learned to talk while she learned to read, and her mother taught her to write at around the same time. She wrote her first poem when she was in the 8th grade. Born as Audrey Geraldine Lord, she chose to drop the Y from her first name while still a child, explaining in Zami, a new spelling of my name, that she was more interested in the artistic symmetry of the E endings in the 2 side-by-side names, Audrey Lord, than in spelling her name the way her parents had intended. Interesting. Lord's relationship with her parents was difficult from a young age. She spent very little time with her father and mother, who were both very busy maintaining their real estate business in the tumultuous economy after the Great Depression. When she did see them, they were often cold or emotionally distant. In particular, Lord's relationship with her mother, who was deeply suspicious of people with darker skin than hers, which Lord had, and the outside world in general, was characterized by tough love and strict adherence to family rules. Lord's difficult relationship with her mother figured prominently in her later poems, such as Cole's Storybooks on a Kitchen Table. As a child, Lord struggled with communication and came to appreciate the power of poetry as a form of expression. In fact, she describes herself as thinking in poetry. She's also memorized a great deal of poetry and would use it to communicate, to the extent that if asked how she was feeling, Audrey would reply by reciting a poem. Around the age of 12, she began writing her own poetry and connecting with others at her school who were considered outcasts, as she felt she was. Raised Catholic, Lord attended parochial schools before moving on to Hunter College High School, a secondary school for intellectually gifted students. She graduated in '51. While attending Hunter, Lord published her first poem in 17 magazine after her school's literary journal rejected it for being inappropriate. Also in high school, Lord participated in poetry workshops sponsored by the Harlem Writers Guild, but noted that she always felt like somewhat of an outcast from the guilds. She felt she was not accepted because she was both crazy and queer, but they thought I would grow out of it all. Sammy places her father's death from a stroke around New Year's 1953. Wow, interesting. See, when you have, your childhood makes you who you are. And people still can't quite seem to comprehend that sometimes. I am very hungry. Let's see if I can bust a freestyle real quick. Man, my stomach's in pain. Purple rain. I can't do it. Let's see. Shout out to everybody. I love y'all. Next time we'll be back in the studio. You know what it is. Please like, subscribe, and share. Love y'all. Hey. Peace. Peace. Do it again.